Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA, I make videos for NFL. All these videos, they get posted on this subreddit right here. It's called DF Sports with one S. I make updates with all the news that comes out throughout the day. You can ask me questions about the slate, anything you need. This will be linked down below. Pretty important here to check this out because we have news all day long. Maybe not tomorrow, pretty late slate tomorrow with news. And then if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can get a hold of me right here on Twitter. All right, yeah, let's get into my lineups from today. So, cashed in NFL. I did not cash on the main slate or the night slate. Where's oh, sorry guys, that was NFL. Just unbelievable stuff that I witnessed tonight. If you guys swapped onto Moses Brown, Moses Brown was the best play on the slate. It wasn't close. Tonight was a generational wealth opportunity for the absolute Sharks who swapped onto Portland. Like if you swapped onto Brogdon, if you swapped onto Scoot, if you swapped onto Moses Brown, it should have been a generational wealth opportunity. But no, Moses Brown just ran into massive foul trouble. Also, the Memphis guys were way under owned without John Morant. Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., Marcus Smart, all really, really good plays. They were all way underpriced. Massive blowout. If you played them, you got really, really unlucky. DeMar DeRozan at this just Drummond random massive foul trouble. Dante Exum 4 fouls in the first half. Michael Porter Jr. just I don't know what he was doing tonight. Plus the blowout. My whole lineup just terrible variance there. But yeah, that not going to talk about it much. My night slate lineup, I was less than 10 points out of the cash. Less than, where's, yeah, less than 10 points out of the cash. And the Charlotte game just blows out. And LeBron, Anthony Davis don't play the fourth quarter. Um, Once again, Duop Reith was 20% owned on this night slate. He just didn't. He got ruled out before lock, and the generational wealth opportunity for the absolute Sharks who jammed Portland got punished. Jabari Walker dislocated a finger and lost like 10 minutes in the locker room. Moses Brown just huge foul trouble. What else? Malcolm Brogdon had negative fantasy points after the first. The huge blowout with the Lakers. I had to swap to RJ Hampton because I do operate here. What else? Podzemski floor. Just I can't believe what I witnessed tonight. I really, really cannot. Tonight should have been a generational wealth for the absolute Sharks, and the Sharks just got absolutely punished tonight. Absolutely punished. Let's get into the slate. Really, really good spot here. So I mean, it's hard not to like Mikal Bridges at 7.3K. I think he's too cheap. Washington, they play fast. Pull up their pace. They're first in league in pace. It's really hard not to like Mikal Bridges here at 7.3K. Probably my favorite play on the Brooklyn Nets. He's gonna do everything for this team. He's also playing huge minutes as well. So I really like Mikal Bridges at 7.3K. Dinwiddie more of your tournament play between the two. With Dennis Smith Jr. back, his minutes are capped at like I would say 34 is probably his max, where before he was playing like 38, 39. And whole I believe if pulled the rotations, where are the Brooklyn Nets? You guys should be doing this. Looking at the rotations for every team, so you can see the subs for him. Also played a little bit alongside him in the fourth, which hurts a little bit, but not much. But still have interest in Dinwiddie just because it's a phenomenal matchup. So, like both the top two guys here, preferred Mikal. Claxton, I don't know what their rotation with him is. It's just criminal. Here's what I will say. If you think Nick Claxton plays like 32, 33 minutes tomorrow, then I really like him. But there are times where they will go with like a Day'Ron Sharp. There are times where Watford will be in the rotation. What they're doing here with Claxton, it's just absolutely criminal. So I have interest in him for tournaments, but just know the range of outcomes with his minutes are way up, way down. If you told me he got 30 plus minutes tomorrow, he probably smashes. So Claxton definitely have interest. Cam Thomas, another guy where they're going to go with the hot hand. If he's playing well, they will extend him, and he does have an insane ceiling. God spot for going up against Washington as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if he is a really big game tomorrow. So intrigued by for tournaments. Cam Johnson, the minutes aren't there, but fine as a filler play. I'm not going to play guys like I think Dennis Smith Jr. is priced right, and then like Royce O'Neal, Dorian. I'm not going to play these guys. Moving on to Washington. So don't love much here. Kuzma, Poole, Tyus, they're all just more contrarian plays for me. If I had to pick one, I guess it would be Kuzma. I think my favorite play on this team, once again, and it's always been my favorite play for the last few slates. You also have Danilo Gallinari questionable, but even with them in, right now they want to play Gafford pretty much all the minutes he can handle. As long as he stays out of foul trouble, he is going to play big minutes. So definitely have interest in Gafford at this price point. He'll probably be low owned. Denny, I would say, is more of a filler play for me. Minutes haven't been great on him either. And then I'm not going to play like a Corey Kisper. I'm not going to play anyone else off of the bench. Moving on to the Knicks. Tough spot here. Randall Brunson, more contrarian plays for me. If I had to pick one, it would be Randall. Both will probably be low owned, but both fine options. RJ Barrett, they're kind of going with the hot hand between like RJ, quickly Dante. It's not great. Does have a ceiling, but not for me. And kind of like Gafford, another guy I like here is Isaiah Hartenstein. They just have nobody. They're going to play him 38, 39 minutes a game. Now, not the best spot going up against Orlando, but with the amount of minutes he's playing, he's definitely a solid play at 5.7K. So I like Hartenstein. Josh Hart, he'll play anywhere from like 25 to 30 minutes. Stat sheet stuffer, I think he's a reasonable play at 5K. Quickly has a ceiling if he's playing well. If he doesn't, he'll probably get benched. Fine value. I'm not going to play Dante. Moving on to Orlando. So, tough spot here going up against the Knicks. There's not much here. Paolo, I think, is priced right for the spot. Franz, I think, is priced right for the spot. We have Jalen Suggs back, so Cole Anthony's out of play at that price point. Jalen Suggs himself, I know, has had good games, but bit of outlier shooting performances, especially last game. It's more of a just a dart for me at that price point. Wendell Jr., they're keeping it easy on his minutes right now, so it's hard to go there. They're also running Mo Wagner. They're running Goga. They're doing like a three-headed monster there, so it's just tough. I'm not going to play an Anthony Black. I'm not going to play Gary Harris. Moving on to Toronto, so keep an eye on what they do with the starting lineup here. So if they go with that same starting lineup of Scotty at the point and Gary Trent in the starting lineup, I like Gary Trent. He was on pace to play a decent amount, and the game blew out. If you guys remember last year when Gary Trent was inserted in the starting lineup with no Fred VanVleet, he was actually a pretty good point per minute. Now, it does come down to if he hits his shots or not, but when he is out there, he is going to chuck. So I like Gary Trent if they go with that same starting lineup. And if they start Scotty at the point, I don't care what the matchup is. He has just been phenomenal. He is also playing just massive minutes right now. So I still like Scotty Barnes quite a bit no matter the matchup, especially if they start him at the point. Siakam more of the contrarian play between the two. OG, I would say, is priced right at 6K. And then Schroeder can't play off the bench. Pirtle, Precious, they're splitting the center minutes. Hard to go to either of them. And then, like I said, if Trent starts, I do like him. All right, moving on to Boston. So we'll see about Tatum and Brown. So if they're both in, there's basically nothing I like here. Everyone would just be probably out of play for me. If, we get a situation where Jaylen Brown's out and they have Tatum in like tonight, then Tatum's fine. Like Porzingis would be fine. White, Drew, Peyton Pritchard, they'd all be fine. No priorities, but fine is like the last pieces in for me. If they're both out, then that's where we consider guys like, then Porzingis, White, Drew, all would be solid plays. I would assume like a Sam Hauser and Al Horford start. I would assume so like Drew, White, Hauser, Horford, Porzingis. But the main guys would all look solid. Would like them quite a bit. And then you're going to see a bit more run for like Peyton Pritchard. He would be intriguing for tournaments. So yeah, would like the main guys if they're both out quite a bit. If I had to rank them, Drew, Porzingis, White at their price points, and then Horford would be solid. And like guys like Hauser, Pritchard would be in play as well. This game I really like, especially the stars in this game. Both of these teams top 10 in pace. I love this game, especially the stars. Domantas Sabonis, one of my favorite spend-ups on the slate. You guys know I was incredibly high on him here going up against Portland. I really like Sabonis here. I think Fox is a good play as well. They ran a really, really tight rotation last game as well. This game blew out, and they both still were on pace to play 40-plus minutes. So I really like both the top two guys here. Prefer Sabonis to Fox. Keegan Murray is going to play huge minutes. I'd say he's priced right. Malik Monk minutes been ticking down of late, but if he does play well, they will extend him. Price has come down, so I wouldn't be shocked if he does smash tomorrow. So they could extend him, but like I said, minutes have been down of late. It's more of a tournament player for me, but definitely of interest. Kevin Huerter minutes haven't been great. Trey Lyles will get high teens minutes off the bench, playable value. Don't love much else. And then on the other side of this game, I really like Trae Young at 9.9K. this is another team that's running a really, really tight rotation right now. So really like Trae Young at this price point. DeJounte Murray's fine as well. Bog, I would say, is priced right, but still does have a ceiling. And then with Jalen Johnson back, Capella, Kongwu, they're not going to play alongside each other as much. So hard to go to them at their price points. If I had to play one, it would be a Kongwu, though. And then Jalen Johnson played 30 minutes in his first game back. I think he's a solid play at 6'3". I'd rather play him over Sadiq Bey. Moving on to Milwaukee. So we've Giannis probable. So I mean, he's always one of the best spin-ups on the slate, no matter what slate he's on. So like Giannis at the top, I would say Dame's more of a contrarian play for me at this price point, does have a ceiling. Chris Middleton, I mean, 33 minutes. We know he's going to be, well over fantasy point per minute player. So I think he's solid still, even at this price point. I would say more priced right now, but still solid. And then something I do want to know is Bobby Portis the last 2 games has been closing over Brook Lopez. Now, I don't know if that's going to continue to happen going up against Cleveland, but if I knew Bobby Portis did play 31, 32 minutes again, yeah, I definitely have interest in him, especially for tournaments. I don't know if the field's going to recognize that he has been closing over Lopez. So kind of that same edge I was saying about the Atlanta bigs for a while that nobody recognized. I don't know if it'll happen again, and I think it's a bit of a worse play than those Atlanta guys were with the 2 Atlanta bigs. But yeah, if he plays 30 minutes, I definitely have interest in tournaments. Brook Lopez can't go there. Malik Beasley, his minutes been on a downtrend. Pat Connaughton, whole play, high teens minutes, a fair value. All right, moving on to Cleveland. So Donovan Mitchell is questionable. If he is in, I like him quite a bit. So they were running him into the ground when he was playing 40 plus minutes a night. If you look who he's playing alongside, guys like, Dean Wade, Isaac Okoro, he's just playing along. He's just going to have to absolutely do everything for this team. So if he plays, I like him quite a bit. Jared Allen, I'd say, is priced right. And then like guys like Strus, be overpriced. Craig Porter would be out of play. Karis LeVert would be overpriced. I'm not going to pay that price point for Okoro or Wade. Niang would be out of play. If we get a situation where he is out, then we can start considering, like a Craig Porter, Max Strus, Jared Allen. I'm not going to pay those price points for Dean Wade or Okoro or anything. Niang would be a playable value, but yeah, let's move on to the Sixers. I love these Sixers once again. Joel Embiid out. I don't care what happened last game. I still really, really like Tyrese Maxey. I just don't care. Without Joel Embiid, he is going to dominate usage here. Ownership's probably going to be way lower than it should be because he's busted back-to-back games without Joel Embiid. So I still really like Tyrese Maxey. And these price points on the Sixers, they're just too low in my opinion. Tobias Harris, D'Anthony Melton, Kelly Oubre, Paul Reed. I really like all 5 of these guys. They're all still too cheap in my opinion. If you think Paul Reed does get into foul trouble, though, you could look to like a Mo Bamba who will benefit from that. Paul Reed is foul prone, so just thought I mentioned that. You'll see some Morris off the bench, reasonable value, and you'll see some Pat Bev, but I don't know if I would go there. Moving on to Houston. So Jabari, Dylan Brooks out. We'll probably get a starting lineup of Tate and Eason. If that's the case, I absolutely love Tari Eason. Even if for some reason he doesn't start, I still love him, but I do expect him to start here. Jason Tate is a solid value of 4.5K. Senkin, Fred, I think are playable. And then Jalen Green minutes are trending down. And then you're going to see a bit of Aaron Holiday. You can take darts there in tournaments. It's whatever. Might see a bit more Jeff Green. Maybe they insert some Cam Whitmore into the rotation. Maybe he basically got all the blowout run in this game. Maybe he gets a little bit of run, but I don't know. All right, last 2 games here, guys. Let's move on. OKC, tough spot here. SGA more of a contrarian play for me. Don't like Chet at all. Jalen is priced right. Giddy, no thank you. Dort priced right. I'm not going to touch the bench. Jokic should just be able to feast here. Aaron Gordon's going to be out for this game as well, so he's just be able to feast. So like Jokic at the top. Jamal Murray's just been on an absolute tear here. I still think he's a solid play even at this price point, even for the minutes he's getting. Michael Porter Jr., if his ownership's going to drop, so be it. I would say he's more priced right at this price point, but Denver is going to run a really, really tight rotation. Even with Aaron Gordon in, they were running a really tight rotation. So have interest in MPJ as a bounce back candidate. KCP's priced right. And then if they start Peyton Watson again, I do like Peyton Watson quite a bit for value. So keep an eye on what they do with the starting lineup. Not going to play Holiday. So yeah. Moving on to Charlotte. So I expect the same guys will be out once again that were out tonight. So if that's the case, I like Rozier. I like Bridges. Don't like PJ at that price point. Nick Richards going up against Phoenix. Miller's priced right. Cody Martin's priced right. So don't like much on the Charlotte team outside of the main guys. Smash spot here for Phoenix. We could have Bradley Beal back, but Kevin Durant, Booker, it's a good spot. If I had to pick one, Kevin Durant, I guess. If Beal's back, that's going to muddy the waters. But in play for tournaments, the main guys are Nurkic's got into foul trouble. Smash spot here. If he stays out of foul trouble, I'm expecting around 30 minutes. Interesting play for tournaments. I'm not going to go to anyone else, though. So hope this video helped you guys out, and I will talk to you all in the next one.